since I made this kind of vlog video, but I hit 1 year mark of living in Paris. So I thought to make this video and just talk a little bit about my experience there, because I feel like I grew up a lot during this time. I found a little bit my own path, my own passions, and I'm super happy that I ended up moving there. At the same time, I can see how much I grew and how much the city grew kind of on to me, because I remember when I moved there and everything felt so big and so grand, and I don't know, it felt so I didn't know my way around. I was using the maps all the time, and then during this 1 year I started to realize slow by slow, like, how I know where to go. I don't need the maps anymore. How I already have some friends there, how we already built some memories. But at the same time, I'm so excited to see what the next year will bring for me, because I feel like there's still so many things that I need to experience in this city. And I feel like I will never get enough of this city. I know it's been only 1 year, but I've been now 2 weeks back at home for a holiday, and I was kind of craving for this quiet and peace, but at the same time, now that it's been 2 weeks, I am like, I'm so ready to go back, and this city just completely has my heart. This has actually been my dream city since 2021. I visited it first time in 2019, I think. On my birthday, I turned 19 or 20, if I remember correctly, and I didn't like it back then, but then I visited it the second time in 2021, and I completely fell in love with the city, and I knew since then that someday I wanted to move there. But I feel like it was never the right time, and it felt somehow unreachable for me. And I even once got accepted into a university there, but I decided not to take that place. I decided to study somewhere else. And ever since that decision, I regretted it so much, and I kept traveling back until I actually finally found a job there a year ago. And it's been a crazy ride, and I'm super happy, and I'm still so happy that I live there. So I wanted to just make like a small video just to go down the memory lane and show you how my year there has been. I started my life in Paris in this beautiful apartment, which made me help to find my own routines and just to figure out how I wanted to build my life here. I also discovered a lot the 7th and the 15th areas around the Eiffel Tower, and just simply fell in love with walking around the city. I also welcomed my first guests and showed them around the city, and started to feel like home, as well as just figuring out how I wanted to build my life here. I also got to celebrate my first birthday in Paris.
I need to reflect on my birthday wish. Yeah. Okay.
That's good.
Do you like chocolate?
Yeah.
I also got to visit many art exhibitions and go to many concerts, which remind me how important just enjoying arts and music is for me in my daily life, and how much they bring joy, and sometimes they just take my thoughts out of my daily life and routine. Just walking around the city, enjoying it and seeing how it is changing with the seasons. One of the best things that happened to me is that I gathered my courage and finally started to film content around books, about my reading journey and thoughts on books, and I built such a beautiful community. I also got to travel a lot during my first year in Paris, being reminded how easily accessible Paris is, and how easy it is for me to visit some of my favorite places in Europe, as well as my friends. I did talk about finding my passion earlier in the video, and I feel like talking about your dreams and your passions and your own projects, maybe outside of your work, is also important because I feel like just simply talking about them with people, mentioning them, makes them feel more real and more reachable because until some point you can just have them in your head and then they will forever remain as something that is just in your head and something that feels just like a dream that is so unreachable and you don't believe that it can happen. However, I started writing more during my time in Paris. My journey with writing has been quite long. I always enjoyed writing a lot. Even when I was writing my bachelor's thesis, I thought that I am enjoying doing research, but actually, the part that I really enjoyed was writing. And in 2021, I got gifted a journal by my friends as a birthday gift. And at first, I was like, journal? Like, how? I don't know. I didn't really feel comfortable about the thought of writing a journal. I was afraid that maybe if someone is gonna read it. But then I thought to give it a chance because I was like, maybe it's a good way to process my thoughts. And ever since, I've been writing a journal quite actively, and slowly it became a way for me to actually process my thoughts and write down everything that I want to remember and that I've been experiencing. And I feel like at this point, I already have such a beautiful collection of feelings and memories of all those past years that I experienced. And at some point this year, I realized that, well, this is my way how I deal with pretty much everything. And during the year of living abroad again, I was alone a lot. I had a lot of free time, even if I'm working 9 to 5. During the weekends, I felt lonely sometimes, or I didn't know what to do. So I actually started writing. Sometimes I went for, I don't know, like a bad date, and I was completely frustrated and I didn't know how to let it out. And I just went to home and I wrote about it. And then at some point, I was like, you know what? I read a lot of books and I'm writing a lot, so why wouldn't I try writing my own book? And so I started writing my own book, and it's been now, I would say, 8 months. It's been a long time because I started in January, I think, and then I didn't write for 2 months, and then I wrote like very slowly, and I developed my writing process and the way how I'm writing. And my background is definitely not in creative writing. I have never gotten any education around it. So just figuring out my ways and my routine, how to do it, it has been just a journey on its own. And I think what changed my writing so far is the fact that I saw during one week, I saw the quote 3 times, like, if you want to be a writer, you just need to write. And it just struck me. And I was like, that is very true. Because I was always telling myself, yes, I'm a writer, I want to be a writer. But then I realized that, yes, I am writing, but I'm not writing as much as I would love to. And I feel like you can always have so many kind of excuses for things that you are not doing. But if something is very important to you, you're always going to find the time and the way to do it. So I started to focus more on finding the time for writing. And actually, for the past 2 months, I would say I've been writing more. Currently, I just finished 30k words on my manuscript, which is quite a lot considering that I never written before. I would love to publish my book someday, so I am just kind of working on it. I am doing now the first kind of editing for my first part of the book because I'm gonna divide it to part 1 and part 2. So I'm just editing the first round, because I feel like at some point I realized that I cannot just be stuck on the words or the way how I'm writing. I just need to write it and let it out, and then after that I can edit it, I can change it, I can change the wording, I can go through the grammar, because actually I am writing in English, even if Finnish is my native language. But I have a weird relationship between these two languages, because I haven't been writing in Finnish for such a long time, and even if on the videos you can hear that I might have an accent, or sometimes I'm not super comfortable in English, I'm still more comfortable writing in English, and I feel like it's more like my language of emotions, and I like more how it sounds in comparison to Finnish. I actually tried reading some books in Finnish during these 2 weeks, and I feel like it was nice, and I'm so fast at reading in Finnish, but at the same time, it doesn't really awake the same emotions in me as in English, and I feel like my tone in English is more interesting than in Finnish. So yeah, it even took me a lot of time to figure out like what language I should be writing. But yeah, I feel like a lot of this is thanks to me moving to Paris, and of course The older we get, the more we figure out things from ourselves. But I think I'm not sure if I would have moved in there that I would have found the same kind of inspirations, or I would have gone through the same lessons that I kind of did. So I'm super happy that I ended up making the choice to move there. It was definitely not easy. So if you're going through the same process, bear with it. It's gonna be worth it. And yeah, thanks for watching my videos so far. I will keep filming them because I really enjoy doing this. So thank you so much for watching this, and see you on the next video.